Hello friends, I hope you guys are doing very well at home. I just wanted to come and read some Hanukkah books for you guys right before the second night of Hanukkah. So we are going to start with The Missing Letters, a Dreidel story. It was after dark and the dreidel maker's shop was closed. A small nightlight cast its glow on trays of letters and a box of carved wooden dreidels. The nuns, Hays and Shins, whispered among themselves. They didn't want to wake the Gimmels. "It's not fair," said a nun. "No one wants the dreidel to stop spinning on my letter because nothing happens when the dreidel lands on none. The Gimmels always win. They're the favorites." "You think that's not fair?" asked the Shin. "When the dreidel stops on me, they have to add to the pot. Nobody likes me." "Well, when a dreidel lands on me, the player only gets to take half the winnings from the pot, and they're not happy about that either," headed the Hay. "What can we do about it?" asked a nun. "It's almost Hanukkah, and I don't want to go through another holiday where everyone cheers for the Gimmels. It's like the rest of us don't even exist." "There's nothing we can do," said a Hay. "It's impossible to predict how a dreidel will land." "But what if," began a Shin. "What if what?" asked the Hays and the nuns. "What if the Gimmels were to disappear?" A hush fell over the shop. "Think about it," said a Shin. "Without the Gimmels, the rules of the game would have to change." "I don't know," said a Hay. "Making the Gimmels disappear doesn't seem like a very nice thing to do." "Let's put it to a vote. Who's in favor of hiding the Gimmels?" "We are," said the nuns. "We are," said the Shins. "We still don't think it's right," said the Hays. "Well," said a Shin, "the rest of us are agreed. So now let's hide all the Gimmels before the shop opens." There they go. They're wrapping them up while they're sleeping in their blankets. They're tucking them in different places. This one's in a garden. This one is dreaming of cake while being put under a cup. And this one looks like it's being put into a log. When the bell over the door jingled the next morning, the nuns, Hays, and Shims climbed back into their trays, just in time. The dreidel maker and his apprentice got to work. They finished carving the wooden dreidels. Then it was time to add the Hebrew letters. There were trays of nuns, Hays, and Shins. But where were the Gimmels? "That's odd," the dreidel maker said. "I remember carving the last of the Gimmels before closing the shop last night. Where could they be?" There wasn't enough time to carve more Gimmels before Hanukkah, and everyone knew you couldn't play the dreidel game without all the letters. "Does it matter if there's no dreidels this Hanukkah?" asked the apprentice. "Aren't they only toys?" "Oh no," said the dreidel maker. "Dreidels are much more than toys." In the time of the Maccabees, as in other times of history, Jews were not allowed to study Torah. According to the legend, children studied in secret outside the city gates, but they would take their dreidels with them. If they heard soldiers coming, they hid their Torah scrolls and pretended to be playing with their dreidels. "They must have been very brave," said the apprentice. "Did they fool the soldiers?" "Yes, they did," said the dreidel maker, and the dreidel game became a Hanukkah tradition. "Every nun, Gimmel, Hay, and Shin has an important job to do. We must find the missing Gimmels." The dreidel maker and his apprentice searched and searched for the missing Gimmels, but they had no luck. It was getting late. They would have to search again in the morning. After the shop had closed for the night, the nuns and Hays and Shins whispered among themselves. "Did you hear what that dreidel maker said?" asked a Hay. "He says we're all important. We're all special." "It's all our fault the dreidels won't have all their letters," a Shin said guiltily. "We shouldn't have hid the Gimmels." There's still time to make things right, said a nun. Come on, everyone, let's find those gimmels. So they're pulling them all out of their hiding spaces. They said, come on, everyone, time to come back. The next morning, when the dreidel maker opened his shop, a tray of gimmels was on the shelf. That's strange, he said. They're back. I wonder where they've been. It was Hanukkah. All 4 letters were back on their dreidels, and no one suspected there had ever been a missing letter. The end. All right, I have one more book for you guys. This one is called The Runaway Latkes. The first night of Hanukkah was just a few hours away. Rebecca Bloom was at synagogue making potato pancakes, latkes, for the big Hanukkah party. Everyone agreed that Rebecca made the crispiest, tastiest, perfectly rounded latkes in town. Plop, plop. She dripped each latke into a pan of hot oil. Sizzle, flip, sizzle, flip. As she cooked, she sang to herself, big and round, crispy and brown, I fry latkes by the pound. Do you guys know what these words are called? When there's a word that makes a sound like plop, plop, or sizzle, flip, it has a funny name called Onomatopoeia. Can you guys say that? Say Onomatopoeia. That means that there's a word that makes a sound like plop. Rebecca had just finished her first panful of latkes when, to her amazement, 1, 2, 3 latkes jumped from the oil right onto the floor. They rolled out the kitchen door singing, big and round, crispy and brown, off we roll to see the town, and you can't catch us. Oh my, exclaimed Rebecca. We need these latkes for our party tonight. Stop, latkes, stop. But the latkes did not stop. They repeated, big and round, crispy and brown, off we roll to see the town, and you can't catch us. So Rebecca turned off the stove, grabbed a tray, and ran after the latkes. The latkes rolled along past the door of the rabbi's study. When the rabbi saw them, he closed his book and called out, stop, latkes, stop. We need you for our party tonight. But the latkes did not stop. They sang, big and round, crispy and brown, off we roll to see the town, and you can't catch us. So the rabbi chased the latkes, and Rebecca chased him. The latkes rolled along past the room where the cantor was practicing scales. When she saw what was happening, she changed her tune. Stop, latkes, stop, she trilled in a sweet voice. We need you for our party tonight. But the latkes did not stop. They sang, big and round, crispy and brown, off we roll to see the town, and you can't catch us. So the cantor chased the latkes, and the rabbi chased the cantor, and Rebecca chased the rabbi. The latkes rolled along out the front door of the synagogue. 2 boys were playing ball, waiting for the celebration to begin. When they saw the runaway latkes, they stopped throwing the ball to each other and threw it at the latkes instead, trying to knock them over. Stop, latkes, stop, they shouted. We want to eat you at the party tonight. But the latkes did not stop. They sang, big and round, crispy and brown, off we roll to see the town, and you can't catch us. So the boys chased the latkes, and the cantor chased the boys, and the rabbi chased the cantor, and Rebecca chased the rabbi. Through the town the latkes went. They rolled up into the mayor's office. He hurried out to see what the noise was about. Latkes, he said. My mother used to make latkes for me every Hanukkah. Rubbing his stomach, he proclaimed loudly, stop, latkes, stop, by order of the mayor. But the latkes did not stop. They sang, big and round, crispy and brown, off we roll to see the town, and you can't catch us. So the mayor chased the Latkes, and the boys chased the mayor, and the cantor chased the boys, and the rabbi chased the cantor, and Rebecca chased the rabbi. The Latkes rolled down the sidewalk in front of the police station where Sue and her partner Harry were just getting off for the day. "What's that?" asked Sue. "Looks like trouble." "Not trouble, Latkes," answered Harry, licking his lips. "Let's take him in for questioning." "Stop, Latkes, stop," Sue called out. "Stop in the name of the law." And Harry murmured, "Stop in the name of my empty belly." But the Latkes did not stop. They sang, "Big and round, crispy and brown, off we roll to see the town, and you can't catch us." Now, after all this rowing, the Latkes were hot, even hotter than they had been in Rebecca Bloom's frying pan. Just ahead of them on the edge of town was a cool, wide river called Applesauce River. The Latkes rolled straight towards it. "No!" cried the police officers, and the mayor and the boys and the cantor and the rabbi and Rebecca. "Stop! You'll get wet and soggy. No one will be able to eat you." The Latkes hadn't listened before, and they didn't listen now. Just as they plopped into the river, kerplunk! Another onomatopoeia. A miracle happened, a modern-day Hanukkah miracle. In front of everyone's eyes, the water in Applesauce River turned into real applesauce, the perfect bath for 3 crispy Latkes. Rebecca blinked. Then 1, 2, 3, she plucked the Latkes right out of the river and put them into her tray. There were just enough Latkes and just enough applesauce for each person to have 1 bite. Even after the pancakes' long trip through town, they tasted heavenly. "Still, just 1 bite," the mayor sighed. "I suppose 1 bite will have to do," Harry sighed. "And look, Applesauce River is turning back into water." "I wonder if I'll eat anything so delicious again," sighed Sue. "Of course you will," Rebecca answered her. "This evening you are all invited back to the synagogue for a Hanukkah celebration." Sure enough, at the synagogue that night, Rebecca made certain there were plenty of Latkes for the rabbi, the cantor, the boys, the mayor, Harry and Sue, and everyone else who came to the party. They lit the menorah, spun dreidels, danced, and noshed far into the night, singing, "Crispy and brown, big and round, better Latkes can't be found." And they were right. The end. Alrighty, friends, that's all the books that I have for you guys today. Miss Hillary sent out some activities, but we will see you guys on Circle Time on Monday. I hope you guys have a beautiful weekend and continue to have a fantastic Hanukkah. We'll see you guys on Monday in your costumes. Bye!